We are getting reports that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been badly injured in a car crash in France.
We all know it inspires great songs. Love, heartbreak, lust, loss. But what about songs based on the events of a single day in history? Assassination, revolution, injustice. I'm Haley McGrath with Ackerley Creative, and this is A Day in the Life.
Let's go!
Where lives were torn apart, called out to our country.
For folks of a certain generation, it is one of those almost cliched moments, like you remember where you were when you found out.
In the early hours of August 31st, 1997, Princess Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. Today, it would reach billions of phones in seconds. For many who lived through it, it's one of those moments they'll never forget.
Princess Diana dead.
Oh my God.
It appears to be official. Princess Diana, at the age of 36, has died of massive internal injuries.
Personally speaking, I was at a cocktail party and I wandered into the next door bar, and above the bar the television was, Princess Diana dies in car crash, and it was, it was a palpable shock. This is an individual no one expected to suddenly die.
There was not just one admirer for the princess on Valentine's Day, but hundreds.
Diana had become one of the most recognizable people on the planet, a royal, a celebrity, a humanitarian, and a tabloid obsession. And for millions of people, someone who felt unusually human, despite living inside one of the world's most famous institutions.
Princess Diana, she's become such a part of the firmament. Her death was treated initially as an unspeakably tragic accident. It was an exceptionally raw moment. I think the world stopped to watch that funeral.
The song chosen to honor Diana wasn't originally about Diana at all. It was nearly a quarter century old.
And I would like to love you, but I was just a kid. The kind of bird died long before the legend ever did.
Candle to the Wind, the original version, which was a cut on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, was an ode to Marilyn Monroe. Bernie Taupin composed this tribute. It's a sensitive look at the manner in which Marilyn Monroe was objectified as a sort of sex symbol and how that ultimately led to her exploitation in the media.
When Diana died, Elton John and lyricist Bernie Taupin reworked the song.
On the surface, you're drawing an equivalence between Marilyn Monroe, movie star, sex symbol, and Princess Diana, late member of the royal family, philanthropist, activist. Some might be uncomfortable with that parallel, but I think the lyrics to Candle to the Wind 97 are so reverent and so in line with the perception of Princess Diana as this incredibly altruistic figure that any equivalence that was making anybody uncomfortable was probably negated. Only weeks before Princess Diana's death, she was at Elton's side at the funeral of his friend Gianni Versace. Suddenly, weeks later, Elton's back in church mourning the death of his friend.
On September 6, 1997, mourners gathered at Westminster Abbey, the historic church that has hosted centuries of royal weddings, coronations, and funerals. At its emotional center was Elton John, performing the rewritten song for the first and ultimately the last time.
Loneliness we've lost, those empty days without a smile. This torch we'll always carry for our nation's golden child.
I remember watching it, and I was thinking, he's not going to make it through this. But I do think he felt the duty to do his very best and perform it reverently in as stony face as he could pull it off. I'm sure inside he was completely devastated, but he wasn't going to let her down in this moment.
He never performed Candle in the Wind in 1997 again.
I think he wants to leave it exactly where it is and not diminish its significance.
The song became one of the best-selling singles in music history, more than 33 million copies worldwide. But that number tells a bigger story.
The single became less about the merits of the song. It became more about wanting to share the experience and have a tangible item in tribute to this huge event that impacted so much of the world.
How long have you been waiting to buy the Elton John?
Oh, for the past 10 days. I was even thinking of flying down to London, but actually I could wait.
It's easy to forget what buying a single meant in 1997.
We were still living in a tactile world, people still buying discs. To have that tangible artifact of the event, I think, was telling as to how many people were so touched by her passing. Princess Diana's funeral was watched by 2.5 billion people. And this is at a point in time when there was only about 6 billion people on the planet.
Despite becoming the biggest hit of Elton John's career, Candle in the Wind 1997 never settled into his regular travelogue.
It's funny, at the time it was pretty unescapable. You didn't have to go to any great lengths to hear it. But it now sort of lives in amber. I don't hear it on the radio anymore, and I think that's very much by design. I think he wants to leave it exactly where it is.
Perhaps that's because the song was a snapshot of a world grieving together.
It's very much of that specific moment.
Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will.
You want to see more content? Like and subscribe.